Slania everybody, I am Corvus Bruxu Luggenikos and this is Starting Out Solitary. Today we're discussing initiations, if they're necessary and what they are and stuff. And first and foremost, of course, it's not necessary to be initiated to practice in general. Then, in my opinion, there are two types of initiations. The one is when you get initiated in a group of people, that when you get initiated you access a level of knowledge and wisdom and practices that you are taught to do or simply to know, and the initiation by spirits. It is usually in general called by spirits, but it means by spirits, by humans, by gods, or whatever. In the initiation by people within a certain closed circle or group, you access by doing a rite, an initiation rite, where you have some preconceived notions and words and actions that you must do, and you get accepted into the group of people. And that's usual in traditions or mystery cults. And then you have the initiation by spirits, in which a spirit accepts you as disciple or whatever you want to call it, and it's not necessary to follow a rite, but maybe the spirit may require you to perform a rite, but it's not necessary. In the case of initiations in a group, it's usually a rite that recreates a death and rebirth, because it represents a spiritual death and rebirth. And in the case of initiation by spirits, it can be just something that happens to you in an instant, or maybe something that happens to you during a period of time. Usually it comes in the form of ordeals, but not always. It depends on the spirit or God or whatever. But yeah, I have never been formally initiated in a group, but it was kind of an initiation when I started going to our local forest. It's not a very ancient forest or anything, but I remember that the first or the second time that I went there, I got lost because I miscalculated time and nightfall came and I stopped being able to see the trail, you know, the marked trail, and it was a juniper, particularly. It's not your common juniper, it's a special type of juniper that grows in Mediterranean coasts. It's bigger than the usual one, and that juniper helped me to locate myself and to go back home safe. So I don't know if considering that an initiation, but it was certainly my first step working with juniper and juniper spirits, and it was certainly my first type of local spirits that I worked with and started having a relationship with. And it grows every day. When I think that that relationship is lost and dead, I come to use juniper for something and to happen something unexpected beyond the physical properties of juniper. So it's really cool, and I have to go back to give some offerings to that juniper. I do consider that I received a spirit initiation with the god Lugus, which is the continental name or counterpart for Lu, for the Irish Lu. And this is because Lu started establishing contact with me when I had lost all hope to have contact with spirits or deities. I heard all these stories about people receiving dreams and visions and signs everywhere, and I had a little bit of that with some deities in the past, but not much, so I lost all that. But when I was researching him for a video, I started to being contacted, and in the end I swore an oath to him, because Lugus, contrary to what people think, the solar deity theory has been dismissed, and there are different theories for what he is, but the main one is that he was a god of oaths, because his name seems to be linked to the concept of sacred oath or sacred vow. So I swore my oath to him to be a disciple, to learn certain abilities, to study his mythological figure for a year. Then I renewed that vow to him for another year, and I would need to renew the oath in the next Lunasa. So in that case, I do consider that I have been initiated into some type of mystery of Lugus. So in that case, I do consider myself initiated by a deity, and by that deity in particular. But and I actually did perform a rite, which was the rite that formalized my oath to him. So yeah, that's interesting. Initiations can be a very intense and life-changing thing and process, but they're absolutely not a need. You don't need to be initiated to practice magic or witchcraft or paganism or whatever. There are certain paths that require initiation into a group, such as traditions, and there are certain spirits or powers or gods that will require you to be self-initiated, but it's really not self-initiated, but initiated to him or her or them, and under their conditions, under their instructions. So it's not really self-initiation. Is you perform the rite on yourself, but it's under the lead of a higher power, so it's really not a self-initiation. But yeah, do you want to receive an initiation, or should you receive an initiation? That depends on what do you practice. That depends on what you want. That depends on what practice you want to follow. It depends on a lot of things, but don't feel belittled or ashamed if you're not initiated into a practice or tradition or by a spirit. That's absolutely no need for that. So yeah, that's my take on initiations in general. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see each other next Wednesday. Bye.